Hello watch lovers around the world. I hope you're all doing well. On today's episode at Hand.wound.horology, we will be visiting the Omega boutique to check out the newly released Railmaster collection. The previous version was discontinued last year, so come join me and let's see if the long-awaited return of the Railmaster was worth the wait. This year's Railmasters come in two variations, a grey and a beigey brown dial. Both feature a gradient-like finish. The grey one features the traditional center seconds, while the brown has a small seconds at 6 o'clock. Both watches come with the option of a dial matching leather strap. Those of you out there who own an Aquaterra, the case design will feel very familiar. Now onto the specs. The case size comes in at 38mm with a thickness of 12.3, lug to lug of 45 and a lug width of 19mm. Due to the differences in displays, the watches use different movements. Calibre 8806 for the grey central seconds and Calibre 8804 for the brown small seconds. However, other than that, both movements are pretty similar. They feature 55 hours of power reserve and 150 meters of water resistance. The movement is Master Chronometer certified and anti-magnetic to 15,000 Gauss. The grey dial variation is closer to the original design. However, the gradient finishing gives the watch a more contemporary look. Interestingly enough, Omega placed the large arrow on the minutes hand for this year's model. At first it threw me off reading the time, as I'm so used to seeing the large arrow on the hour's hand. The brown dial gives off a more vintage look with the small seconds and dial color. The Railmaster text is pushed up to the Omega logo to make space for the small seconds, making this dial look a bit more overcrowded. I think the brown model looks better on the leather strap, as it accentuates the vintage aesthetics of the watch. Isn't it funny how a dial color can give a watch a completely different feel? Overall, for me, I prefer the grey dial. That's because it's closer to the original design and has a more versatile dial color. Which dial do you guys prefer? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Looking at the watch head on, it predominantly has polished finishing, including the bezel, lugs and center links. The watch features a 3-link bracelet with a push-button butterfly clasp to secure it on the wrist. The watch features a screw-down crown. The side case is brushed, giving the watch a nice contrast. Hidden within the clasp is a neat party trick. It features an on-the-fly 2mm adjustment system. As you can see, there is a small button at the end of the clasp. By simply engaging the button, you have 2mm of adjustment at your disposal. And here's how the new Railmaster looks on a 16.5cm wrist. And I gotta say, I think it wears pretty well on my wrist. 38mm may seem small for some, but it definitely has some wrist presence. Here are some side-by-side shots with the two dial colors. So what are my thoughts on the new Omega Railmaster? Well, I really like how it wears on my wrist. The no fuss dial is extremely legible. No unnecessary fluff, just straight to business. How all tool watches should be. However, one of my gripes with the watch is that it's mostly polished. The origins of the watch was to serve those who worked around rail lines. The anti-magnetic properties of the watch made it ideal for those who worked around electrical currents. The overuse of polishing kinda takes away from the tool-like origins and aesthetics of the watch. It makes it look too similar to its Aquaterra siblings. I think if it had more brushed finishing on the case and the bracelet, it would give the watch its own identity and it would differentiate it from the Aquaterra line. Thanks for watching my hands-on video of Omega's new Railmasters. So what do you think of this new release? Is it another home run for Omega? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. As always, if you enjoy my content and want to stay up to date with the latest watch releases, please like and subscribe. Until next time, happy watch collecting.